Hello everyone, and welcome to the walk. Sorry we're a bit delayed. We were just trying to figure out signal-wise and what we can do and what we can't do. Won't be a very long walk today. We're just going to walk basically a stretch of the Milwaukee riverbed. If you look down that way, we are not going to walk that direction, but just to give you a bit of a view. It's actually only about, not even 100 meters, about 50-60 meters that direction that we saw the hyena this morning sleeping under the bush. Probably still there. It's very, very hot out here. I don't know the temperature now, but I'm guessing 37 degrees maybe, 36 and a half, 37 degrees Celsius, somewhere in that region. It's cooking. So there's a couple of dragonflies flying around. Yeah, it's going to be a short walk down the riverbed. We know this from the drives quite a bit. This is Spaghetti Junction. Oh, Spaghetti Junction just up ahead of us really. It's just a lovely area. I often like to stop here. You can see lots of animals use it. And just looking around, lots of elephant dung, and I was actually hoping to find some ellies maybe. This is quite old now, but it's only yesterday that we saw some ellies that side as well. So lots of things that move around here, and let's see, quite often you get termites inside these, but it seems this one is just a bunch of, nothing living in here, just some compost at the moment. But yeah, lots of things. Use this area, nice sand. It's a very pretty area as well. So we're going to just have a bit of a look around, have a look at some of these deadwood trees, and who knows, maybe if we're lucky an elephant pops out somewhere. Nice stand of trees here, all these trees along the riverbed. I know I speak about them quite often. Just trying to think which one might be a nice one. Let's have a look at these two. Along these riverbeds, obviously there's more water. The sand, even though it's not, can't see water in it, there's often water further down. So most trees have actually got their roots, to some extent or another, literally in the water table. You're right there. 9 foot tall with an antenna on top. And these are one of my favorite trees. Arboretum imberbe, or leadwood in English. Ironwood, some people call it. There's different names for it. In Afrikaans we call it a harde kool, which means a hard coal or a tough coal. Very, very good braai if you did use this wood. And just fantastic trees. It's got this very characteristic texture. If you look at it, it's got sort of almost perfect little blocks, greyish color. And incredibly hardwood. This is way denser than water. So if you were to cut a core piece of this wood, it's actually against the law to cut these trees now. If you cut these, you can go to jail. They're protected. But if you cut a core piece of this wood or a dry piece that you pick up, it literally sinks in water. Love these trees. Namibia also, some of those dry riverbeds, you get these massive big riverbeds. Sometimes you see water flowing, and then for many years at end, obviously there's water under the sand, and these trees can grow to thousands of years old. And they can even stand for 1,000 years after they're dead. So they tend to be around for a while, little living monuments. Something else just in the leaves here. I'll show you. This is from a giant land snail. Saw it a while back as well. This is quite a nice shell still. You can see still got a bit of color on it, and it's not too old yet, maybe from last summer. We'll start seeing these guys more and more quite soon on the drive, as soon as we get some of that big rain we keep talking about. Alright, we're going to get through there. Hey. You can see some tracks. These are from the Jigga this morning. It's actually interesting. I mean, partly joking, obviously. This is one of the places we crossed. This is Batalier Road. And actually, just to explain this area as well, we call it Spaghetti Junction because there's so many roads joining. You've got the road running down the riverbed, one running up to Twin Dams Road, this one Batalier, and then we're going to go just up ahead. I'll show you where we've got basically Ndala Road and then splits into Vulture's Nest. So it's a whole junction of roads here, which is where the name comes from. But yeah, from these tracks, like I said, the Jigga's tracks, actually over time you get to know all the different game drive vehicles as well. So you're driving around in the day, you can see, okay, this morning this game drive vehicle was there, or Abel drove here, or Charles drove there. Just all the different vehicle tracks as well. Some other dung. Now at first glance you might notice it's a bit more black in color. Obviously it's very old now and dry. And just bring that closer to you and have a look at the texture. I suppose the elephant dung I didn't show you the details, but elephant dung, especially this time of year, it's got a lot of bark and twigs and things like that in it. This is still pure grass. You might think white rhino at first, but then you look at the shape of it and just the way it's digested, slightly different. This is from a hippo. This is from some time ago. This is very fresh, probably 2-3 weeks ago. Hey. Here's some more elephant dung, just to compare quickly. And this is also old, a couple of weeks ago. You can see it's very, very dry by now. And there you can see more longer pieces of twigs. Here's a nice piece of branch. Also the color is more red because of all the tannins in the bark that they eat. Have a look yesterday, this is where we saw that elephant. Trying to remember which drive it was. Was it yesterday? This morning? Yesterday afternoon. There's his track. Again, a little tricky to see the tracks this time of day, but I'll just outline it for you. It's sort of the back foot overlapped to the front foot. The front foot would have been there about, with the back foot registering over it. And he was eating those roots. And this is the very roots he was eating. Nice and heavy. You can see they're chewing it for a while. I must admit, looking at this, I'm very glad about an elephant sometimes. Not the most appetizing food I've ever seen. You can see he ate some of it and then I think he decided that there's not much in there. It's a little bit dry and not a lot of nutrition in it. It's just the root from a, looks like a buffalo thorn probably. Amazing there, if you look at the texture there. Eating through that, literally. That's all been crushed by his mouth, by his teeth. Very powerful. Right, let's see how far we can get down this. One day we'll be able to walk long distances. It'll be amazing to walk these riverbeds, sort of a few kilometers. And you've got so many trees and many shady areas next to it. So many branches that can catch your sound microphone cord. Really a lot of life obviously is all around here, but especially these riverbeds. It's a lot of movement. Often the breeding herds of elephants that move through this area. Also leopard. See, some digging has been done here. Part of the digging, I think, is at some stage someone needed a bit of sand maybe for the garden at the lodge. This also often you'll find a variety of animals. Honey badgers that dig in here, find some insects and things that might have had some kind of eggs or something under the sand. Monitor lizards very often dig along these sandy bits as well just to find bits and pieces of food. Porcupines occasionally. Amazing amount of traffic that over X amount of time moves through these areas. Here's a nice big footpath. You stand right on it, actually, or you can stand right here on it. I'm just going to walk up it a bit.